Sisters, and here we are, Wednesday One Lesson Wisdom. Do you ever find yourself wanting to say something and not saying it because you're afraid of speaking truth? Are you ever finding yourself choking your truth, swallowing it to the point where you get lost and you don't know anymore what you have to say and what your truth is? Well, this happens, and it happens to most of us because we're afraid of not fitting in. We are afraid that if we speak our truth, somebody might get mad, we may be ridiculed, and at the end of the day, we may not fit in. Survival is the name of the game when we're children. And if you have been exposed to adverse childhood experiences, which means childhood trauma, chances are that you even have more fear connected to speaking truth, to the point where you may not even know what your truth is. You may not even know what you have to say and what resonates with you, and leave it alone, let alone expressing it to people. Being courageous really means having the courage to be yourself. And for some of us, it means shedding layers of fear, of repression, of shame, and sometimes guilt, because we feel like if we speak truth, we might hurt others. Yet, if we don't speak truth, if we repress our voice, repression leads to depression and eventually to illness. So, some of us, unfortunately, and that includes me, have had to find this the hard way. We got sick, maybe more than once. And our body speaks truth. Our body is speaking to us at all times, expressing itself through sensations, emotions, and through illness. So if we have found ourselves in the midst of an illness, it means that we are repressing something. We are repressing emotions, and ultimately we are repressing who we are truly. We are trying to fit in. We shrink in. We curl into a ball. We may get so small that we don't even know anymore who we are. So I'm here today to tell you that it is possible to break through that spell. And I mean a spell because the brain is really powerful and will remind you of the past. And the deeper the trauma, the deeper the groove, the deeper the belief system, and the emotions attached to it. So, yes, your voice will shake if you speak truth. Yet, as you do, and step into courage, step into the truth of who you are, chances are that you will connect to an inner strength that you did not know you had. Now, if you hold back your truth, you keep reinforcing that loop. It's called neural pathways in neuroscience. It's a groove, like the water that keeps going down the same pathway and deepen the grooves into the ground. You will reinforce the pattern in the belief that what you have to say doesn't matter and who you are at the end of the day doesn't matter. Now, if you don't speak truth, you don't take the chance to create what you really want in life. It might be a relationship that matters to you a lot. You may take the chance to lose that relationship, yet at the end of the day, you are back to yourself in a relationship to you. When you feel like people don't hear you, significant others, maybe people you hire, maybe coaches, therapists, it is honestly at the end of the day because you don't feel safe to speak truth. People will hear what you have to say. And now here's the funny part. We always hear what we have to say. Often I say to people, give me 1 hour and I will help you find your purpose. And I have done it. I have clients that are there to prove of what I'm saying right now. 1 hour. Because honestly, I, being on the outside as a coach, can hear dissonance. And dissonance means words energy and body experience don't match. There's a break. And that's what I tune in for. And that's what I'm inviting you to tune in into yourself every single day. When you don't feel good, when you are angry, especially frustrated, feeling bound up, there's a truth that needs to be spoken that is not coming through. So, good news and bad news. Good news is the truth is there. Bad news is that you may have a pattern rigged up into your mind body memory that represses that truth. Because at the end of the day, no one has the power to hold you back except yourself. So, how do you find your way back? Come back to your sensations, come back to your feelings. Are you frustrated? Are you depressed? Are you numb? These are three things that will be the indication. It's your red light that tells you something needs to be expressed that is not finding expression. Number one, follow your sensations and emotions. Numbness, anger, depression, that will speak or gear you in the direction of what you need to listen to. Now you need to listen. Number two, tune in. Whichever way it works for you. For me, exercise, journaling, meditation are three ways that help me come in into myself and hear. That's number two. Find a way to express yourself and do not judge or criticize the messages you're hearing. That would be number three. Don't argue back. There's something you want, you're not getting it, you're frustrated, number one. Number two, you listen. You say, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? And number three, don't fight back. Number four, now find someone who can hear you. At the end of the day, you may be the one ultimately that needs to hear. But sometimes, because of our patterns of the past, we cannot hear. We scramble the airwaves in our brain. We hear it and we argue back. And then here we are back in the loop again. So if we find ourselves a coach, that's what I do in my work. I listen to people and I validate the truth that I'm hearing. You find yourself a therapist. You find yourself a friend, someone who can listen without having to give you an opinion, without having to give you judgment. That's the worst. Or trying to solve the problem for you, fix you. None of that. Listening is really an art that implies somebody's open-minded, open-hearted, takes you in and mirrors back to you what they heard without having the need to change anything about what they heard. That is what a good coach slash therapist slash friends will do for you. So, 4 steps. First, follow your sensations, emotions. Frustration, anger, depression, numbness are like a cover up that something is pushing through. A truth about what you feel and need is not being expressed. Number two, tune in, listen, journal, exercise, whatever works for you. Meditate, move. Movement is good because emotions literally means energy in motion. So as you start moving, things are starting to shift. That's number two. Number three, ask, what is it that needs to be expressed? What is trying to push through that needs to be validated? And number four, find someone to hold the space for you. So if this speaks to you, I offer breakthrough sessions, 45 minutes, where I do just that. I help you tune in. Frustration towards what you want and bridging that gap. So, yes to mylifeacademy.com under coaching, there's a link to my calendar to book a breakthrough free session. And if this video speaks to you, please do comment or ask questions, or feel free to email me directly. But in whichever way you do this, either with me or with other people, please listen to yourself. Please engage in that relationship with yourself where you are actually able to hear your truth. Because remember, truth leads to depression, repression, and illness eventually. And I really want for you and for me and all of us who have suffered trauma to shine our own bright light. We are here for a purpose. And as you speak your truth, you find your way back to yourself and realign with your purpose. Until we meet again next week, have a great day.